Hi, I'm Natalia,
Tomorrow.
and this is Natalia's Alchemy, where we learn to transmute negative and dark energy into life force energy. So, today we're making a video for those of y'all who are just awakening in this lifetime. Like, you're having a spiritual awakening, you're coming into consciousness, you're coming into awareness that this world has more to offer than what you've been sold. So, we're just gonna share our stories of whenever we came into awareness and consciousness and everything. So yeah, you can go first.
Hmm. Yeah, so my journey started around the time I was 12, though I've been aware, I would say consciously, since between 5 and 7 is when I gradually grew into awareness, a deeper awareness. And I would say my journey really started when I discovered spirit science around 12 years old. And I started to, after learning like just deeper aspects of the mysteries of the world, like discovering ideas about the soul and about consciousness and how we're interconnected and the reason for that interconnectedness, and just a lot of factors that go into our spiritual beingness. I started to connect dots that didn't seem like they were connected in any way. Understanding just more philosophical, like, I don't even want to say truths really, but philosophical concepts that, were really advanced for like a 12-year-old essentially. And just understanding more about why the world is the way it is, because many people just are not currently aware consciously enough to really grasp the nature of the consequences of their current actions in a like low vibrational state. It's kind of like that eating mindlessly kind of energy. If you've ever sat down and eaten potato chips and then, or any kind of chips really, and then realized like they were gone before you even noticed. It's that like low frequency, low vibrational way of just existing without consciousness, without a conscious. Um, it's kind of like, I reference this book a lot, but in Dune they call people who aren't aware like animals, but not in a like, it's not necessarily
Demeaning
in a
way.
demeaning way. They mean it in a sense that they are just like, they're meant to be guided, and some people are just more aware than them, so they consider them human. And so most people currently living are in the state of that they would be considered like animals, so to speak, in a sense that they're just on a lower frequency of existing in the lower centers, like survival, just eat, sleep, sex, like power. It's not really like a very it's just not a very highly vibrational way of existing. And so a lot of the world currently is overcoming a lot of the systems put into place based on those lower centers. And thankfully though, we're in a place where more and more people are becoming aware and enlightened and just conscious of the nature of reality as it unfolds, and the reason we're making this video at all. And we're here to say you're not insane. You're not crazy. You might be going a little crazy, but like that's a part of the process.
That's a part of the process. You
Yeah.
have to lose your mind
Mm-hmm.
in order to break out of the programming that you were placed under.
Literally.
It's okay to lose your mind. You have to. You have to. Or else you won't be able to, step into this new version of yourself, this new perspective that you're
Mm-hmm.
gaining. So don't feel like you're going insane. I mean, don't feel like it's a bad thing, because it's
It's not a
not.
bad
It's a part
thing.
of the process,
Mm-hmm.
because you lose your mind, but then you find your greater mind. So
Mm-hmm. Well put.
hang in there,
Definitely
for
well put.
real.
So I'll say more about my journey. All the information you'll come to find isn't something that you should just automatically take as truth, but don't automatically dismiss all the information that you come across. I would say, like, there's a saying, I don't even remember the philosopher, I just know it stuck with me, that the mark of an educated mind is to entertain an idea without accepting it. And that's like the highest nature of what you want to be in terms of your conscious awareness, is to allow all the information to just be data for you to analyze and let your soul's like resonance align with what truly resonates with you personally.
Yeah.
And
because not everything will.
yeah, not everything will. And another thing I want to mention, just like the truth is a sphere, like it's like three-dimensional object. Everybody can see different parts of it, and like they might interpret it differently, but they're all looking at the same thing. So like the truth doesn't really have to be defined as one particular like facet of information. It's really just this thing that we can't all collectively see in its entirety, but collectively we can see the amount of information we need to gather, and that just adds to the interconnectedness that humans should really be striving for, because with the information we collectively have, we'll have what we need to know to move forward as a species, really. And that's what's happening right now. We're just expanding in our awareness, and if you're here, then you know what's happening, and you know, like, you know, okay, I'm not there's nothing wrong with me. I'm not damaged for all this information kind of just coming here and there. And a lot of you are probably like the only ones in your family, and if you're lucky like I have been, you maybe one or two other people in your family who are also on this journey with you. So blessings to you and them. But many of you are most likely like the only ones in your family, so don't feel like you're alone, because you're most certainly not. And I'm sure intuitively you can tell you're not. Like, you've probably seen situations where you can tell another person has a deeper awareness. If you come across people who you get a vibe like that, don't be afraid to reach out and talk to them. I've had many people come out and just talk to me about things that they otherwise would have felt more afraid to talk about with other people. And they mentioned being afraid to talk about them with me at first, and then had to work up the courage, and then I was happy to talk about those topics as consciousness, spirituality, like things that are of a much deeper understanding than what most people are willing to delve into. And that is kind of a part of the awakening process, is us collectively understanding that we're not the only ones who are on this journey of expansion, you know, consciously. Did you want to add some about what you...
Yeah. I mean, I'll talk about my experience. So I think I want to like go a different route than it. I feel like I want to talk about like authenticity and why that's such a like necessary aspect of your, you know, spiritual journey and your just ascension. Because if you're not, you know, showing your true authentic self, then you will never like resonate with the people who are truly meant for you. Because, you know, as we come into awareness and we realize, okay, like we're in a different boat than like most people, but like we don't know how to navigate this. Like, how do we know who we can like share our whole selves with? You have to really understand that once you come into this awareness, you're meant to be seen. And that's not just like on social media or something, but your expression is very much needed in the real world. Like outside with other people, you need to be truly expressive of who you are, your ideas, your ideals, what you resonate with. You have to express that to others in order to resonate with the people who are meant to see you. If you don't, then like you will continue to feel like an outcast, continue to feel like you don't belong, continue to feel like no one really understands you, because that's not always the case. It can feel like that sometimes, you know. If we don't find our community in person, then like they may be online. But if you don't fully show your authentic self and, you know, your values and everything because of a fear of rejection, I know personally, because that is something that I've had to work through myself, is just feeling like, feeling misunderstood, because I felt like no one truly understood like my expression, and then two, not wanting to be fully expressive because I was scared that people would reject me or call me crazy or just like call me demonic, like whatever. But understanding that authenticity is the highest vibration, and operating through authenticity is how you magnetize what's meant for you. So when you're on this spiritual journey, know that you're not alone. You know, there are people, places, things, situations that are, you know, looking and seeking you, but you have to be in alignment with those things, and you have to be your authentic self in your true expression to align with those things. So what I'm trying to say is just understand that your authenticity is number one priority. Even if you don't have everything all figured out, just being
Don't
your
even
true
need to.
self. You don't, because we never will. We never will. Mind you, like, you will never know everything. Like, let go of that right now, because you'll drive yourself crazy trying to, you know, seek that. But be okay with the unknown. That's one for sure.
I definitely wanted to add too is that being your authentic self, if you if you decide that you're going to hide your authentic self, you're essentially robbing the world of like the beauty of your soul, you know. And not only that, but you're denying your like others the inspiration that you may be able to provide them by being yourself and your soul's like true purpose by aligning with that. And if you're on your awakening journey where you're becoming more aware and more conscious and just more understanding of the nature of reality around you, then you're the kind of individual who is likely to inspire many people just by your beingness, just by existing,
by being seen,
literally, just by existing and being you as you are. So don't be afraid to like speak about what you're interested about speaking about, and just expressing yourself in the way that is aligned with your true nature, because that is what's gonna inspire. Those are the people who are gonna help heal the world. Like artists, creators. You don't even have to be an artist or a creator. It could be something as simple as the way you dress and the way you like express yourself through
just your expression.
that. I've known this girl who she would put makeup on her face and like stars and stuff like that, and she was very aware and very conscious, and people just gravitated towards her because of that. And like there's just something magnetic about individuals who are very deeply present in themselves in a way that allows them to express like without fear, essentially, of rejection from what other people find conventional or normal, you know.
Yeah. So authenticity, that's your key. Like, even if nothing makes sense, even if everything around you seems to be crumbling, know that you are always grounded and rooted in yourself and your authenticity. And the best thing you can do for yourself and for, you know, anyone around you is to show up as yourself every day. Be present in your life, you know, because it's so easy to get caught up in everyone else's lives. Be present in your own life and know that you as yourself can make change in the world just by being yourself, just by being who you're called to be, just by expressing yourself, just by showing up, you know. So that's not something to be taken lightly. Your beingness, your being here, your being chosen to be here on earth at this exact time is such a gift and such a monumental aspect of our collective experience.
The world will literally be very, very different without you. It just would not be the same without you.
At all. Like, people need you here. You need you here. You know, you're here to experience life at this time. So don't get so caught up in having to like maintain a certain image to like those around you, or like what other people will think, or what your parents will blah 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 blah. No. It's like you have to, you know, make a choice to choose yourself, you know, because that's the best choice, not only for you, but those around you. Because when you choose yourself, you can be there to nurture yourself and then show up for other people. So
for those of you who are inspired as well to enlighten others, the best method
to teach
is to, literally, the best method to do that is literally just embrace the fullest aspect of your already existing soul and express that enough to allow people to desire to do the same. and it will create a domino effect in the world where people just like desire simply to become more aware, to understand more, to be more empathetic, to be more compassionate just by the nature of others around them, you know, leading by example and doing the same.
Yeah. And that's one thing I had to come to terms with. I feel like when beginning my, my journey, I was, dipping in and out of like consciousness, awareness. Not really, but like I wasn't fully.
The reluctant hero.
Yes.
If you know anything about the hero's journey, the hero always, for the most part, just wants to avoid being the hero. Despite the call,
Despite the call, it's like, I'm not really feeling it today.
Yeah.
But, as 2024 went on, one day, I just continued to wake up conscious. And I'm just like, okay, well, I guess I'm here now. Let me, do something about this. So just in taking as much information as I could and just, checking that and seeing what resonated with me, what made sense. Oh, did y'all see that lightning?
Yeah.
What made sense, because as you go forth on this journey, you realize that a lot of this new information is just deep wisdom already embedded in you, and you'll have that resonance. When something deeply resonates with you and you know it to be true, you'll feel that, so I was having that experience and just coming to new truths and realizing that, life as I knew it was not what I thought it was. And I felt very alone in my journey, honestly, because I was the only one in my family and people around me that was, conscious and aware and on this journey. So I found community online is where I first found community, on TikTok specifically, because I feel like TikTok and its algorithm, the way that it connects people is just very unique, and I feel like no social media app does it. I mean, YouTube, but TikTok is different.
Yeah.
But finding community on TikTok, I feel like, if you can't find physical community, your online community will always be there. It's just a matter of you showing up.
And another thing is, once you've discovered a community, even if it is digitally, thank God for Aquarius, because that's the age that we're in. It's the age of information. It's the age of interconnectedness and technology and all the stuff we currently have. So very much be appreciative and show gratitude to the fact that in the past, people would probably awaken and have nowhere to turn to without anyone in their immediate community. But two is, you have the ability and potential to meet a lot of these people who are usually open. I know I'm open to meeting people that I would meet online who are spiritually aware and conscious and, want to assist in aiding humanity's ascension, essentially. And that's just something that, you could always look forward to when it comes to learning about more of this expansive time period that we're in, from other people around the world. And another thing I want to say too is all the information, although there's so much out there and it might overwhelm you, there is no need to accept every bit of information you get as true or even as something you have to consider, so much as just you can log it all as data subconsciously. You don't really have to access all of it all at once, because you're not meant to. Everyone's here for a reason. We all have our roles. So you might come across so much information is overwhelming. Just breathe, just relax. I know at first for me, a lot of this information became overwhelming, learning about things that were just so much going on. But there's a saying there's a mark of an educated mind to entertain an idea without accepting it. You can just see all the information as these are ideas that can come across your consciousness that, cool, now you are aware of a concept of thought that doesn't really need to be fully, what is the word I'm looking for? It's when you mull over something, essentially. The word escaped me, but you don't have to become obsessed with every single concept that comes into your reality, right in front of your face, and just accept that there's a lot of information out there. That's one of the biggest things I know people do with awakening. when they're learning and searching for information or for answers, it's like there's so much.
Yeah.
There's just so much out there, you know.
Yeah. And like I feel like for me, one of the biggest things that I've learned while on this journey is compassion, and just like not only having compassion for yourself, but having compassion for humanity, and just not like belittling people because, you know, they're not at the same level of consciousness as you are, but understanding that, you know, we're all here for a reason. Not everyone is meant to awaken in this lifetime. You can't force anyone to awaken. You can't force anyone to awaken.
Not only
you
that,
cannot
but
force
not everyone
anyone.
is meant to be awakened either.
No.
They're
Oh yeah. Remain heart-centered. You know,
centered in your heart.
centered in your heart. Empathy for humanity, and just the times that we're, you know, going through right now. Because again, not everyone is awake. Not everyone is meant to be awake.
That's what it was. Yeah.
So people are still stuck in those lower frequencies. Just empathy and compassion for those individuals.
Lower in their awareness, and yeah, not everyone is meant to be, because I remember what I was gonna say is so this is an analogy I had heard somewhere else, so you know it's not my own, but it's a really good one. Is that think of the collective of humanity as on the earth as an entire body, and you have your heart cells, you have your, you know, brain cells, you have your skin cells. Every person serves a different function. All groups of people serve different functions, and the people who are awake would essentially be the heart cells. They're the ones who are meant to guide in a very holistic, centered kind of way of being. And if you have a good heart, if your heart is aligned and your heart is highly vibratory, then the rest of you will be aligned. So if humanity has a healthy heart, so to speak, you know, collective conscious, enough people who are collectively aware of their compassion for mankind, who want to do good and can do good and have the ability to do that, then the world will begin to heal itself, you know, over time.
Yeah.
And that's all you can really ask for, to be honest.
Right.
You know?
And understand, you know, we're the white blood cells,
Yeah,
essentially.
the white blood cells of the earth, you know.
We're here to balance out the darkness. Understand that you carry the light. You don't have to look for it outside of yourself. It's within you. And just continue to shine your light, be your authentic self, show up in that, and just be that light, and have other people witness you in your expression, because a lot of people are losing hope, you know, and I'm not saying that the burden is on us. It's just
You set the tone.
Yeah.
No.
Set the tone, you know, be in your love, be in your light, and have people witness that and know that, you know, there's still good out here. There's still
light in this world.
There's still light in this world. We can still be and be happy and be joyful and be okay, you know? So I think we're gonna end it there. Is there any last words that you have? You'll be okay, you know? Even though it seems like everything's crumbling around you, know that, you know, old systems have to fall in order for new ones to be built.
Read Dune. No, but like, listen, it's a lot of esoteric wisdom in that. And then, if you are looking to manifest at all in any capacity, Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich,
Yeah.
yes. And
a lot of spirituality in that as well.
yeah, and if you are looking for assistance on this journey, check out my website, nataliasalchemy.com, and I'll see how I can be of assistance to you. But remember, we're all in this together. You are not alone. We are here for you. And yeah, until we see you all again, peace and love to you all.
Peace and love.
Bye.